All right, so here on your screen we have the other semifinal matchup. Samson on the left, Sherwin on the right, both playing Rug Delver.
Wadnakal is too good. I cannot find a way to put Lightning Bolt into my control deck. I just cannot find a way to add this card. I do not have the tools to add Lightning Helix to my deck. So, what do you think are the most important features of the mirror match?
Well, as you were saying before, Tarmogoyf plays a big role because it's just bigger than everything. The fact that Tarmogoyf very quickly becomes a 3/4, which is big enough to survive Lightning Bolts, survive Chain Lightning, and is bigger than even a Thresholding Mongoose. At least in Game 1, it's pretty crucial.
Yeah.
Nimble Mongoose itself is a pretty big deal as well, since it can't be targeted by any of the removal, and after sideboarding, when there's a bunch of submerges flying around, it ends up being an even bigger issue.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have different sort of places they want to be in the mirror match after board. I know some people are advocates of counterbalance Sensei's Divining Top as a plan. I know some people actually like to have a Miser's Life from the Loam, because Wasteland Looping is a plan you can take. I know people actually like Surgical Extraction because the deck is so both threat light and mana light, has very few colored lands in the deck, that Surgical Extraction can actually just pick up random wins, just tagging Tarmogoyf or tagging Tropical Island after a Wasteland and shutting someone out of green mana entirely. So there's a lot of different ways you can sort of try to sideboard for the mirror match.
Yeah, it looks like, let's take a look at these two decks. We've seen Kurt's before. We haven't actually taken a look at Sherwin Poo's deck yet. It is...
here somewhere.
It must be this one.
Yes.
So, nope, that's not it.
There we go.
2 Court of Calling, not Sherwin's deck.
Sherwin Poo having a full main deck complement of Stifles.
Yes, so he has... his deck looks a lot like Prozac, so he doesn't actually have the Spell Pierces. He does have the Life from the Loam plan in the sideboard. 3 Submerges, Surgical Extraction, we'll see if he brings those in.
He has a Singleton Life from the Loam.
And a Sylvan Library.
Big Sylvan Library fan.
Yeah, I like Sylvan Library a lot. There was a time when I wasn't a big fan, but I've definitely come around to that card.
So Samson is going to untap here. Going for the Wasteland here is dangerous. Sherwin could just blow him out here with a Stifle.
If you do want a Wasteland, I think you want to upkeep Wasteland.
Players, we
did not draw for the turn, I guess.
Okay, yeah. He's wasting his own turn.
That to stage? Thanks very much.
So he's going to float a...
No, he's not. What? I'm confused.
I feel like you'd want to float in Daze there.
Yeah, that's my guess.
And on Pyroblast.
Pyroed. Is he thinking of dazing this? Sherwin can pay.
Kurt Samson actually received a warning for missed trigger for failing to draw after that brainstorm.
Oh, okay.
It's going to let it,
trigger?
I mean, I guess that's the closest thing you could describe it as.
Sure. All right.
Hooray, 18 land, no basic land, 4 wasteland decks going at it. So,
and Sherwin appears to have a land. It is volcanic. He can't actually cast his Mongoose.
All right,
go. And yep. So Sherwin brainstorming. I think I draw my card before brainstorming.
Yes, you just want to go. You want to have an extra draw.
Right. The key thing here is digging as deep into your deck as possible to be able to find a green source. Oh. And he's not going to really have any use for the additional mana on his turn. So I think it's more important to get that one card deeper.
Yeah, because if you brick off, if you don't draw a land, it is a disaster.
Right. Oh, it's horrible for you. So
he did find a. It looked like he found a fetch land.
Yep, and he's fetching, getting a tropical, and looks like a goose is going to be unleashed.
Unloosened.
Well, it doesn't get loose until there's 7 cards in the yard. He needs threshold to be loose.
Sure.
He's just the goose is just hanging out. Ooh.
Oh no, we're gonna do it like this. Sylvan Library against an opponent with no cards in play is a pretty good place to be.
Yeah. You have no permanents. I will probably pay some life. Or just kind of rearrange them.
Yeah, there's no third land there, so.
Well, if there's no third land, you want to.
Yeah, you basically want to get down to 7 cards, right?
Yeah, I feel like you want to draw until. Didn't he have a goose in his hand? I was keeping red up.
Maybe for Red Blast.
It's interesting. What's the Red Blast? What? A brainstorm? I guess.
Maybe if he was going to cast Delver, he wanted to just make sure that.
Sure. Okay, that makes some sense. But I still.
You probably can just draw 2.
Yeah.
And there's a land there, so I assume he's going to be scooping up at least 2 of these cards.
Seems like you may want to force as well. Yeah,
No, I'm bad.
No, he's
just taking the land.
It's a fetch land though. So he's gonna try and fetch.
Looks like it's resolving.
Yep.
I think in response you want to submerge this.
Is there a submerge there? Oh, there is.
You get him to shuffle the.
Yeah, you shuffle the Delver away.
Yeah.
And there's the submerge. So Sherwin is almost certainly going to Red Blast that. I believe he saw Red Blast in his hand.
Sort of weird how low on resources.
No, maybe not.
I think he's just going to cast a Goyf this turn.
Okay. Well, he could still do that if he has a Red Blast.
Oh yeah,
he
he's getting
could
a
Red Blast, get a
land
land,
here.
cast the Goyf anyway. Maybe he doesn't have a Red Blast.
Yeah, it's possibly a bolt or something.
We may have just been misinterpreting what the actual cards of his hand are.
I think it's a bolt.
Are those geese?
It looks like Mongoose Goyf, right? Like,
right.
Unless I'm crazy here.
That's why I'm sort of perplexed why he didn't cast a Mongoose the turn that he cast Delver, if he didn't have a Red Blast in particular. Well, he's casting a Goyf. That's going to meet a Brainstorm. Okay.
I actually kind of like the. If he's going to cast Nimble, I actually kind of like the other sequencing there, because this allows Samson, in theory, to both snare the Goyf and daze. Or if you do it in the other order, your Nimble Mongoose is pretty much guaranteed to resolve unless he's willing to use a Force of Will.
Right.
Additionally, the fact that Samson has Submerges in the deck means that, in general, you want to prioritize getting your Mongoose to resolve over your Goyf, because he has such a smooth answer to it.
Right. Yeah, Mongoose is the key threat when the Goyfs can actually die. And here,
is an ooze. That's going to catch a bolt.
Yeah. Ooze.
And there's a Submerge for Sherwin, and that's almost certainly just going to bury Samson here.
I'm still a little surprised that Sherwin hasn't paid any life.
I mean, I think he's scooping all these up.
No. I think this is the second time we've said that. And counting his cards in his yard.
He's going to submerge that guy back on top. Cast a Nimble Mongoose. Passes the turn. This is also the reason why I would just always want 4 Submerges in my sideboard.
Yeah.
Because in the matches where you can cast it, it's just the best card that
Submerge
you can ever.
Submerge is like unreal.
Yeah.
When you're just like, oh, I'll free, like just like, often just kill your creature because you can do it in response with fetch land and such.
Looks at Stifle, Fetch.
I would
take all 3.
I'd actually probably just take the fetch here because those stifles seem pretty bad at this point.
Yeah, but I mean, his light total is high enough that, like, don't you just want to give yourself maximum, like, you can theoretically draw Brainstorm and just have more gas to work with?
Yeah. But I mean, he hasn't been doing this the whole time. So I don't know why you start now when it was actually cards that are pretty weak.
Sherwin is actually fairly resource light given
given that he's had a Sylvan Library in play for a bunch of turns.
Yeah.
He only has a few cards in hand, right?
Actually, he's been playing, a little bit closer to natural selection than the. I think he just drew a Submerge, so that'll do her.
All right. There you go.
Yeah.
Zaggy for 30. It's close to 30.
0 mana time walk you again.
Yeah, it's what's 10,
He's got a bolt in the. I think he's still got a bolt in the cut.
and there it is.
All right,
So Sherwin Poo advances to the finals, winning 2-1 over Kurt Samson. He will meet Adam Prozac, where they will play a Rug Delver mirror match for the title.
Yeah, I mean the big difference in this deck and between the two decks